to recognize that you are the immigrant. You are the illegal alien. You are in someone else's nation and you have erected a false government to govern people that you have been told by your ancestors that you are superior to. And you want to believe that it's true, but you don't get to hold both values. You don't get to say we should have immigration laws and I'm white and I'm not part of this culture and I'm not from this region of this planet. My region of the planet I'm from is from over here in Europe. You don't get to hold both values. You don't get to have a policy for immigration while some because and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my wife is Nigerian and she's mad at me because it's not moving fast enough for her. It's not like I don't have the resources to get her to America. The bullshit ass system has been designed to make sure that she and I can't be together. And more importantly, the bullshit ass system has designed it in such a way that I can't even date the woman next to me. I have to go all the way to fucking Africa to meet a halfway decent human being that still wants to vibrate on the same fucking bullshit as the girl next to me. Why is the woman next to me with her nails did and her $500 hairstyle and her nasty ass attitude synonymous with the women in Africa, right? And then you have immigration laws saying, "Oh, we need these laws to protect us from foreigners." You're the foreigner, right? Europeans went around the world with their English and they're the foreigners. And if you look at the world, anywhere where they speak the same language that I'm speaking, it's fucked up. Everywhere that there's English, it's fucked up. Everywhere there's Europeans, it's fucked up. Oh, we have to go over here and we have to help the Africans and we have to provide them with food. For what? Why do you have to provide a man with food? You know why? Because you took all their goddamn food and then you're giving some of it back. Let's just be honest with what's going on. Men, not women, men should not have to beg other men for any fucking thing. It is not natural for males to beg other males for anything if they're not their father. And there should be a level playing field that promotes competition, that keeps everything regulated in checks and balances. The way that you keep the economy down is you force general mutual competition, right? Because if I had the ability to function at the same level as a Caucasian, I could provide you with the same service cheaper, right? And if I can provide you with the same service cheaper, that forces that forces them to have to live at a lower quality of life. Why do you need 4 jets when you can only fly in one? You have 4 jets, you can only fly in one. But for you to have those other 3 jets, it means that there are X amount of people in society that don't have enough resources for themselves so that you, one individual, can have 4 jets. You could just have 1 jet and all that other jet money could be circulating in society so that it could be used so that we can fund stuff at our level. But that's not what's going on. And this is just me ranting and raving because I'm trying to understand how you make a good plan, you have sound decisions, you execute, but then you have bullshit ass people around you sabotaging your shit. They fuck you over and then you're like, oh, it's not really their fault, it's my fault. You have legislation and policies put in place that fuck you over and then you're like, it's my fault. It's not, I just should have did better. You have corruption, still your fault. It's still your fucking fault. You have all this shit you're supposed to overcome. And then when you fail, people are like, oh, you should have tried harder. Why are we so invested in knowing that the game is rigged and helping to keep the game rigged? Why? It's not like Call of Duty where you're just having fun. We're talking about the capacity to function normal every day? Why do we allow the game to be fucking rigged against us? Why do we get up every morning and drive to work whining and complaining? Oh, I hate my job. I wish I didn't have to do this. They don't pay me enough money. Why do we keep doing it every day? And I know why we keep doing it every day. Because I'm 42 and I spent 42 years doing this fucking bullshit. And you know what I do? I make 22-year-olds do the same fucking bullshit. So by the time a 22-year-old gets to 42 and I'm dead and gone, you, at the age of 22, force the next 22-year-old to do the same bullshit. And then when you're dead and gone, they rinse and fucking repeat. Rinse and repeat. And what I'm understanding and why I started my 2 cent is that because we're globally connected now, we can see the bullshit and we can just not be in compliance to the bullshit. I 100% believe that we need government. I 100% believe that society can't function if there are not people in position to regulate the interaction between us, because like I said before, a man should not have to ask another man for shit. So I honestly believe that if there wasn't a police officer riding around governing everything, that I would break into the nearest fucking house and set up shop. This is my house now. This is where I'm gonna live. I'm not gonna sleep in my car. I'm gonna use the stove to cook food. I'm gonna use this bathroom to wash my ass. I'm gonna do the things that I need to do as a man to function and provide for myself. Only under threat of being thrown into prison and told that I would never be able to work again do I function in society. Now, I call that institutional racism, and I blame white people. What I also understand is that it's not necessary to threaten people to do basic shit, right? It's not necessary for you to be like, if you don't go to work, we're going to put you in jail. Okay, that's fine. I can go to work. If I have to go to work to make money, that's fine. Oh, we're also not going to guarantee you a job. So you're not going to guarantee me a job, and you're going to throw me in jail if I have to do basic shit. So if I can't do basic stuff the way that you're telling me to do it, you're going to throw me in jail. That's institutional racism. That's what I mean by institutional racism. 100% of people in this country, in all countries, can't get work. But 100% of people in this country will be thrown in jail if they break the laws that were written by society. So why doesn't the government guarantee 100% employment? In 2024, why don't our governments guarantee 100% employment? In 2024, if you're in a country that happens to have a welfare system that will provide you money from the government so that you can function, why don't these governments give us enough money so that we can compete at the level of corporations? Why do you get just enough money to keep corporations open, but not enough money for your own prosperity? Why? Again, I blame institutional racism. You can give somebody that looks like me enough money to be able to pay a couple people that are white to be in position to keep running the fucking country into the damn ground. But you can't give the black community enough money so that we can stay within our own communities and not have to come out of our communities and bother you. You keep telling us that the problem in the world is that we are the problem in the world, but you keep coming to us and taking resources from us and forcing us to comply with your fucking system. The same system that you're pushing us out of. You don't want us there, but you also don't want us to leave. You have to pick a side. You have to pick a side. You either want Africans to compete or you let Africans have fucking Africa. Just give us the whole damn country and leave us the fuck alone. But you can't do that because all the resources you need so that you can have your 4 fucking jets are in Africa. Everything that you need that was given to you by your God, there's dark-skinned people standing on the shit that you said God gave to you. So why did God put those people in your way? You make it make sense. Because I have an understanding. We are all the fucking same people on this planet. We're all Africans. We've all been given a raw hand. We've all been treated like shit. We've all inherited fuckery because we went from caveman running around on the planet not really understanding how to do things to the idea that there was finite resources, and now we're living in infinite resources, and they're trying to hoard all of the resources to continue to perpetuate the idea that there's not enough for everyone because they believe that we won't work if they share. So they're giving all of the resources that they have to people that look like them, institutional racism. There's enough wealth to go around for European nations, while all non-whites have to continue to suffer and struggle so that they can convince us that it is necessary so society continue to function. When society is not functional, societies are not functional right now. There is absolutely nothing functional about two people needing to work two fucking jobs to barely be able to afford any type of living expense, any type of living structure. And for some reason we haven't started fucking coming together and rallying together in opposition to the fact that we can't even afford housing. I know why I'm in my car. I'm in my car because I wanted to be married and I made poor decisions that got me to where I am. And I don't blame nobody but myself. It's very disheartening to see that women have fallen from grace to the point where they don't respect their ability to have children. They don't respect the fact that they are capable of, for literally, we go to church every fucking Sunday and worship the idea of a fucking guy that is responsible for creating every last person that lives on this goddamn planet. But for some reason, women don't recognize themselves as the fucking gods of the planet. My mother gave birth to me. The source of my creation is my actual biological mother. But because she's African in complexion and has hair texture like mine, and she doesn't look like a fucking white guy with blonde hair and blue eyes, she doesn't get to have credit for that shit. She spends all of her life walking around feeling inferior about who she is as a person because they've taken away the one thing that makes her the most important part of the whole goddamn equation, the bearer of life. And then it's like it's okay. Like it's just okay that we don't let women be women. Like why? What do you lose by just letting a woman be a fucking woman? You just add unnecessary chaos to an already chaotic fucking system. They've already got enough burdens in life, and then you take the one thing from them. The only thing that a woman needs to recognize to be content with her life is that she is the bearer of life. Life comes from you. That's it. What else do they need? They don't need fucking fake hair, fake nails, fake eyelashes, makeup, mascara, tattoos, a small waist, a butt lift. They don't need any of that shit. The only thing they need to know is that we are the bearers of life and we are in competition with each other to try to have the strongest children we can possibly have. So we have to fight amongst each other to find the best and most qualified mate so that we can feel accomplished. That's it. That's fucking it. But we're selling them this idea that no, what you need to do is you need to work a full-time job. You need to put your child's father on child support. You need to make sure that both of you are living in separate houses so that we can maximize our income. We know that both of you can't afford your housing, so eventually we're going to evict you. And then once we evict you, we know that you're not going to be able to function. And then we can take you out of society and put you in prison. Because at the end of the day, what people don't want to recognize is that for America specifically, prison is the only institution of slavery. And the prison institutions are growing millions of people, which means they have free labor to produce goods and services that we buy all the time. And we don't want to recognize that you're competing. The stuff that Walmart makes is being made by prisoners, right? Can I fact check that? Probably. Is it true? It's definitely true. But the point that I'm making is that the stuff that we buy at Walmart is being made by prisoners. The people that are unemployed because the labor is being offset by prisoners. So once you wind up homeless on the street and you can't function, and then you wind up stealing some shit, guess where you're gonna go? To prison. Then once you're in prison, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna work for less than your value so that they can continue to put shit in Walmart to sell to everybody else. But why does a man have to fail at all in society in 2024? Why? Why is it even necessary for there to be failure in 20? We have infinite resources. We don't have infinite resources. We have infinite resources. There is enough for everyone. There is enough for everyone. The Philippines have cell phones. They don't even have unified garbage collection, but they have cell phones. Everybody on this planet has a cell phone because the governments of the world use cell phones to monitor our everyday lives so they can maintain their control over us. If you can give everybody a cell phone, then you can feed everybody. The logistics required to give everybody a cell phone is the logistics required to provide equality to everyone. And it's just that simple. We don't want to make the connection, but if you build a phone in China and it can get all the way out in the middle of places that don't even have a signal, that could have been a cheeseburger. That could have been anything. It could have been fries. It could have been anything. But we're not doing that. We have the resources. We have the resources to make sure that 100% of the places on this planet have some level of fundamental necessities. It won't be perfect, but we have, at some point, we have to look at the bullshit that's going on in the world and recognize it for what it is. Because you guys are gonna, my 2 cents not for children. You're supposed to be 18 to 25 is the demographic that I'm aiming toward. Y'all have to see that the bullshit of your parents, the bullshit that they're giving you is not good enough. It's not fucking good enough. It wasn't good enough for me, and it's not good enough for you. And you need to really start thinking about, what am I going to do to make it not this for my kids? If I'm watching the people, if I'm driving past the homeless now, what am I going to do to make sure my children aren't homeless? What am I going to do to make sure that not only is my son or daughter not going to be homeless, but their friends are not going to be homeless? What type of policies and politics are they pushing that's going to benefit me at the age of 22? Because the biggest Democrat, all this bullshit about the black vote, the white vote, the Asian vote, the biggest demographic of voters every year is 18 to 21. The people that carry the greatest weight of legislative power in this country, 18 to 21, because it's supposed to be exponential growth, right? So if it's exponential growth, that means that everybody that turns 18 has more numbers than the next generation of 18-year-olds. So in 2024, that number 18, 2025, that number 18 is higher than the last number 18. So from 18 to 25, if y'all got y'all shit together, you could take the fucking country over. Actually, you could take the world over. Because it moves at this, y'all have the fucking internet. Everything moves at the speed of light. If y'all unify and stop looking at TikTok videos and watching YouTube videos and constantly just engaged in just being happy-go-lucky young people, which you should do, but at some point you're gonna be 25, and then you're gonna be 30, then you're gonna be 35, then you're gonna be 40, then you're gonna be 45, and by the time you're 45, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm done. Nothing, no matter what I want to do on this planet, 40 more years at the minimum, I'm out of here. We're all gonna fucking die. So I got about a good 40 years left in me, and then I'm done. checking out of here, going to the next plane. I might come back because I believe in reincarnation. But you got 40 years of listening to wisdom of people that are older than you, giving you advice that you're going to ignore the same way that we did when we were in our 20s. So I'm letting you know right now, the best thing for you to do if you're 18 to 25 is to start really taking note at what they're saying with these policies and these regulations. What do they say and what is the result of it? What did Donald Trump say he was going to do and how did it affect the world? What did Obama say he was going to do and how did it affect the world? What did Bush say he was going to do? How did it affect the world? What did Clinton say he was going to do? How did it affect the world? The best thing you can do at the ages of 18 and 25 is see that. And then by the time you're 25, you should already have an agenda put together for the next generation of 18-year-olds. And they're not going to listen to you, but you don't need them to listen to you. You just need to give them your fucking structure so that when they turn 25, they can give that structure to the next generation. And then eventually the youth will start listening. Eventually they'll start saying, huh. In 2024, this already was written out that this is what was going to happen. And here it is almost 75 years later, and we're seeing the same bullshit ass rhetoric. The planet is destroyed, the atmosphere is gone, global warming is still a thing, ocean levels rose by 3%. Because we can argue about it. Oh, that'll never happen. The ocean won't increase by 2 inches, or global whatever this, or famine over here. None of that stuff matters. If we write that shit down, which is the reason why I created the my02cent life system, if we write that shit down and give it to the youth, the same way that we're being told, read the fucking Bible. It's been around for 2,000 years. It has the answers to everything. If we write everything down now and give it to the youth with global connectivity, one of the generations that's going to come after us is going to fix this shit. And being self-centered and thinking about ourselves is the only reason why it won't change. It's the only reason why it won't stop being what it is. That's why it continues. That's what gives it power and moves it forward. Because we see the problems, but we keep pretending like it'll never happen to me. You see me sitting in my car, whining and bitching and complaining and moaning and arguing and fighting, and it sounds like I'm not being responsible or taking accountability for myself, because you've been conditioned to hear things from a person that don't look like you different than when it comes from somebody that looks like you. And that in of itself should be your warning that something's not quite right about the way the world is being ran. But it's fine. We're not going to fix it. There's no way that we're going to fix it. The only thing we're going to do is keep going to the internet and looking for entertainment to distract ourselves from the harsh realities of the world that we live in. I'm perfectly okay with understanding why I am where I am. I would do it again. If I had to do all this over again, I would do it again. I would pick a better, if my daughter's mother would have been alliance with me when it came to wanting to start a family and having children, I wouldn't be sleeping in my car right now. She had her own fucking agenda. Somebody convinced her that it made more sense for her to get child support, and we live in different households, and that she just collects and garnishes money from me. That makes more sense financially. Like, yeah. And she thought, oh, that's a good idea. But it doesn't make any more sense. It doesn't make any more sense to pay twice for everything. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense for two adult people to have two separate jobs, two separate houses, two separate cars, two separate meals, right? We don't share the responsibility of taking care of a child. So when I go to work, we need a babysitter. When you go to work, we need a babysitter. So now we have to pay a babysitter money to watch our child, instead of I go to work, you watch the child, you go to work, I watch the child. Society has created a stigma that Oh, a man that watches children, that's you got to be. It's weird that a man will watch a child, or men can't be around children, and create a stigma so that, well, if he goes to work, I have to stay home and watch the baby. Or, well, if we both go to work, I go to work, he watch the kid, he go to work, I watch the kid, twice the income, twice the household. No, 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 no. If you go to work, you got to get a babysitter because only a woman can watch the child. Here's a nice Caucasian girl that can watch your children for you. Pay her money. We forced you out for 400 fucking years to raise our kids for free. Pay us money to watch your kids. You can't leave your kids alone with the actual fathers and the grandfathers and the uncles. You can't do that. Pay us money. Pay other people money out of your own resources so that you can, not gain any fucking wealth is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if a family works together, then you guys can pull your resources together. And then if somebody has a bad day, there's resources available to be able to fix that shit. No, no, no. Let's not do that. Let's work check to check. Let's run up our credit. I'm living in a car that I paid for while unemployed. When I went to Full Sail University and started school, and the focus that my mother gave me finally died on me. Without a job, I walked over to the dealership and I finessed the system, because they don't teach you how to finesse the system. What they teach Caucasians in this country is not what they teach African Americans. And Caucasians look at African Americans like they're not trying. They don't want to compete. They're not making an effort. They're lazy. They're dumb. When are we going to hold the institutions responsible for not giving us the information that we need to be successful? We're not. We're never going to. We're never going to. But yes, the car that I'm living in, I bought this car without a job. I didn't have an income when I bought this car. I set everything up unemployed. Didn't lie about it. Didn't go in there and lie. Didn't have to go in there and cheat. But once they gave me the car, guess what I have to do now? I have to get a job. So now so they know, yeah, if we give him a car, he's going to have to pay for the car. If he doesn't pay for the car, take the car back. And then he'll still be in debt. So of course we'll sell him a car, because it means that he'll have to work. So you have to understand the way the system works, the way the world works. We're all interconnected globally now. And that's just the reality of the way things are. There's no way to fix the present. There's no quick answer to these issues, but individually we can stop buying into the bullshit. If you have a strong desire to be a husband and a father and have children, you just do that shit. Just do that shit. If you're dating a girl and she's being iffy, or she want to be normal, leave her and find somebody that's gonna understand. Don't waste a lot of energy playing games in a society that doesn't fucking care. No one gives a damn. It doesn't matter if you're sick. It doesn't matter if you're right or if you're wrong, if you're good, if you're evil, if you're positive, if you're negative, if you're successful, or if you're a failure. No one cares. No one's interested. No one fucking cares. So do what's best for you with the information that you have for whatever it is you want to do. Because if you're doing what's best for you and you're honest, you're going to put that into the system. And that's what's important. If we had more honest people in the world that were successful, out competing all this bullshit corruption, then that's what would cause change in the world. But we don't, because honest people, the homeless people that you drive by on the street, are the most honest members of society. That's why they're not in prison, and that's why they're functioning. You're walking past fucking food every goddamn day that you can't have access to because you're honest. And you didn't want to conform and be in compliance to a broken fucking system. When I was in Full Sail University, the only thing I asked them to do was leave me in peace, Let me sleep in my car so that I can fix my finances. I need to attend school in person full time to be able to get the money that I need to pay off my eviction so that I can get back on my feet. And the only reason why I got allowed myself to be evicted is because I wanted to be a husband and a father. And that was the cost. That was the cost. I'm not whining. I'm not complaining. I'm not arguing and fighting. I'm not making excuses. I spent 30 years of my life paying child support, being lonely, living in an apartment by myself, not being able to I have a 19-year-old daughter that I didn't raise. I didn't get my daughter's mother pregnant because I wanted to run off and be a deadbeat loser. But again, skin complexion and hair texture. I never got an option. I never had a chance in life to do any fucking thing except for be subjected to bullshit. So here I am at the age of 42, still trying to do what should have been done for me, by me, at the age of 19. And that's the reason why the video was supposed to be MGTOW, men going their own way, because why should I sacrifice my right as a human being to have a loving family? For what? For what? So a bunch of fucking white people can run around and not be fucking happy? You want me to sacrifice 80 years of my life on this planet so that you can be miserable? So you can smoke, like do drugs, fornicate, be fucking irresponsible? How many children does Elon Musk have? How many wives, how many women did he get pregnant because he has money? Like, what was that? Like, did he have a plan? He's got a fucking plan to go to Mars, but he doesn't have a plan to be a father. But then you take a random 19-year-old that's coming up in life, don't really know what's going on, trying to get somewhere, making mistakes as they go along because my generation, the elders are failing y'all. We're not giving you the information you need to be successful. We're just looking at you like, yeah, he doesn't know what's going on. He's going to make the same mistake that I made. But you didn't even give him the information. You don't know if he's going to be a failure. You didn't provide him with the information that he needed to make better decisions than you made. But then as soon as he falls or stumbles or makes a bad decision or fails at life, the first thing you want to do is be like, I mean, man, if you would have just listened, but you didn't say any fucking thing. You might have said, don't cross the fuck. It's like Dave Chappelle said. There's always an African American. No, he said, black people always know the laws. And if we don't know the laws, there's always some older black guy that's going to jump out and tell you the law, right? And it was funny when he said it, and it's probably still funny if you watch right now today. What we're not doing, which is the foundation of my 2 cent, is we're not giving information that is relevant to success in life. That's what we're not doing. That's where we're failing. And the biggest failure is men not exchanging the dynamics of relationship with younger men because we are in competition with each other. Why would I help you be successful at getting a girl when I'm trying to get a girl? I'm not going to be the reason why you wind up with the girl that I want. So I'm not going to help you with that. But we're not regulating that dynamic. We're not regulating that space. The greatest commodity on this planet is what? Not gold, not silver. It's not even people. It's freedom. The greatest commodity on this planet is freedom. And if they can take away, if somehow Europeans, not all of them, the ones in power, the ones with authority, the ones that are being in compliance and obeying legislation that was written based on finite resources, if they could take away your freedom, if they could get you to perform, okay, if you want something, if they want you to go get them a coffee, if all they could do was get you to get them a coffee and come back and stand next to them until they need something else from you, that is the long-term end game goal of a psychotic, needy person that doesn't have anything in life to motivate them other than a sense of inferiority and the validation of that inferiority by being superior, if that makes sense. And that is the people that run in this world. They need the validation of do what I say right now. And if you do what I say right now, then I feel better about who I am. And I'm not gonna do it. Why would I go get my own coffee? I'm gonna send you to go get me a coffee. So that way I have more free time to do absolutely nothing. If I go get a coffee, then I'm gonna actually have to actually have experiences in life and interact with people and stand in a line at Starbucks and recognize how bullshit this is. No, 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 no. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna send you to get me a coffee. That gives me more time to sit around and bullshit about absolutely nothing. Think about other ways to strengthen my control and hold over billions and billions of people. And we at our level, we need to not let that be okay. We need to make sure that things are being put in position and things are being put in place to counterbalance that. And that is the foundation of my 2 cent. I would love to be able to just be a tap dancing coon and just, make resources and make money and have resources and pretend like none of this stuff exists. But it's not working. It's not working for me to keep pretending like it's not okay. Only thing I ever wanted to do was just go on the internet and find like-minded intellectual people. That's all I ever wanted to do. And the only thing I wind up doing is being told that I'm dumb. You're stupid, you're dumb, you don't know what you're talking about. And I don't know, I don't understand. Like, why does it always have to be that way? Why do people constantly have to tear each other down? You tear other people down when you feel low, when you feel small. The decisions that you make are typically you trying to hide something about yourself from someone else. And it is very hard and it is very rare for people to be truly honest and truly genuine with themselves. And the reason why I'm recording this right now is because I'm truly being genuine with myself. I'm truly being genuine with myself. I don't want to go to fucking work every day. I don't. I don't want to have to go get a stupid fucking job and barely make enough money and have to use a higher percentage of my brain power to figure out how I'm going to pay a $600 bill with $545. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to think about for 10 hours. That's what my wife does. And then she'd be mad at me because she's like, you don't ever care. It's simple math. I need $600. I have $445. I need more money. It's simple math. It takes like 5 seconds to figure that shit out. I'm not going to sit around and twiddle my thumbs for 30 fucking days because the reason why I can't make the other $15 is because of institutional fucking racism. It's that simple. And there's nothing else to figure out. I'm not saying that 100% of Caucasians are the problem. I'm saying that there is a corruption in government that allows some people to have more and some people to have less. And it's designed that way very specifically so that the people that have more can feel better about themselves when they look at the people that have less. They think that they're superior because they have more through lies, deception, and cheating. And they think that the people that aren't lying, deceiving, and cheating are fucking stupid because they have a moral compass. And the people with the moral compass are the ones walking around on the street trying to make it every day. And the ones that are corrupted in society are the ones in the fucking government. So the question that I have is, what is the point in teaching ethics and morality and legality to our children if it doesn't carry any fucking weight anyway? One of them, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to be done with this rant. One of the most interesting things that I have recognized at the age of 42 is when we are children, the first thing we're taught is what? Sticks and stones can break my bones. Words can never hurt me. That is the first thing that we teach children. I don't know about the rest of the world, but specifically in America, one of the first things we teach children is when people are saying negative things about you, just ignore it. It can't hurt you. But when you become an adult, The verbal lies and the verbal deceptions that people make against you hurt you a lot, a lot, to the point where we almost should just let children defend themselves. When someone is being verbally disrespectful, it almost makes sense that we let kids defend themselves from that, so that when they do become adults, they're better equipped at being able to do that. How do you think I got my car? I got my car because I understand how to speak and communicate properly, and how to conduct myself in a way that is professional. You don't have to lie. I didn't go there and be like, yeah, I'm lying about this or that. I just went there and said, hey, I need a car. I'm in school, but I don't have a job. Huh? What is your income? My income is school. Oh, okay. I didn't lie. I didn't exaggerate. I didn't make a big deal about it. I just went there and was honest. Because the first thing they're going to do is say, what is your income? If I try to sit there and pretend like, yeah, I need a car and I got money, what's your income? Oh, I was working at Arby's when I was in Detroit, but you're in Florida now. What is your current income? Oh, I can still. No, that's bullshit. You're just bullshitting the system. And we only bullshit the system because we understand that, again, institutional racism. We have to bullshit the system to get around the inequalities that exist through the imbalance of unchecked racism. Instead of just being like, I'm not going to do that. Here's the truth. Oh, we reject your truth because we need you to conform to the understanding that you are inferior and we are superior. I'm out. I'm going to go somewhere that's not going to treat me like that. You have your bullshit ass system over here. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go where government is still functional. I'm gonna go over here and be a part of a system that's gonna work. Where am I? In my car. What am I doing? Look, let me explain something to you. What do you see? What do you see? Nothing. You see absolutely nothing. Where's all of the flashing security guard lights? Where's all of the police presence? Where are the sirens? Where's you see nothing? You see absolutely nothing. The reason why you don't see anything is because of where I am in the world. There's absolutely no reason for any of the things that take place to take place the way that they take place. Everything everywhere is designed the way that it is. Nothing that humans create is an accident. It's not any type of hindsight or afterthought in anything anymore. It's all deliberate. 100%. My wife is Nigerian, and she really believes that the Nigerian government is the reason why Nigerians live the way they do. It's not the case. It's all designed. It's all designed. There's a reason why every African country that speaks English, that worships Jesus, is a savage and a barbarian. There's a reason why they're undereducated. There's a reason why they are poor. There's a reason why when I was a kid, they were starving in Africa and they were collecting donation money to feed the Africans. They're still fucking starving in Africa. So where did the money go? What did they do with the money? All the money they collected over the last 40 years. When I was a kid, 42. So when I was a kid, they've been collecting money for more than 35 years. But the African people are still starving. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. None of the European countries are starving. Europe is one of the smallest countries in the world. And they're, by definition, first world. They don't have any resources. They extract all the resources from everywhere else. If you can make that government work, why can't you make Africa work? If you can make it work, when you have a system that works, you can spread it everywhere else. But the problem is that the reason why that system works is because it's built on the foundation of the dysfunction of other nations. This functions because that's dysfunctional. That's functional because that's dysfunctional. And when you don't want to recognize or acknowledge that aspect of the connectivity of the global level, that's why we're living the way that we're living. Every policy that has been given to us is not for the world, it's for white people. Every time Elon Musk speaks, let me rephrase that, because it's not necessary to make it about just him. Whenever you listen to anyone with any authority speak, they're always talking about white people, because the global elite consider white people to be the only citizens that exist, and non-white people are not citizens, and that is the way they speak. That's why Donald Trump can get on TV and be like, the immigrants are coming in from Mexico. How are they immigrants if they were here first? Imagine coming home from work and there's a bunch of people sitting in your house, and then they run up on you like, oh, you need your papers to come in here. And you're like, it's my house. Why do I need papers? No, 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 no. This isn't your house. We've been here since 3 a.m. I've been here all my life. Well, since 3 a.m. we set up a government and we created a new family here, and this is no longer your home. You have to go somewhere else. How would you feel? How would you feel? But just about every nation on this planet that has Europeans there, that's what Europeans did to get there. That's what they did to get there. They came there, they were welcome guests, they set up governments for themselves, and then they very slowly forced the natives away. Very slowly forced the natives away. And then now the natives are like, well, you guys, you have an illegal government here. Why are you? No, 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 no. We don't have an illegal government here. You know, sometimes in the past, things happen in the past, and you know, it's unfortunate, but we kind of inherited the right to govern you. We have a little bit more authority and a little bit more force than you have, so we're kind of just gonna stay here. But we need you to sign all these documents and fill all this paperwork, so that you can have the right to move around within your own space. But had there been immigration laws when Christopher Columbus was sailing around the world, he would have never taken over America. The Atlantic slave trade would have never existed. Like, how do you get to go around the world, pillage and plunder every fucking thing, and then in hindsight, pretend like it's for the benefit of everybody else that you're forcing people to stay in their own country because you created bullshit as conditions, and nobody wants to be a part of your bullshit as conditions, so you won't let them leave. The Nigerians don't want to live the way that they're fucking living. If you gave them the ability to leave the fucking country, they would just leave. No, you're forcing them to stay there to work under their potential. And it's unethical and it's immoral and it's illegal. You extract all of the resources from them, you give them your fucking culture, your ideology, your way of life, and then you convince them to operate under their potential, to not be the best versions of themselves. And then everyone else in the world is just like, oh, look at the like Louis Farrakhan said, you don't have the right, when he was on 60 Minutes and it was like, Nigeria is the most corrupt country in the world. He's like, you don't have the right to say that. You can't sit there as a Caucasian and tell me that Nigeria is the most corrupt country in the world. Not with your fucking history. And it's the one time that I fully understood exactly what Louis Farrakhan was saying. Like, you don't get to do that. You don't get to have a history of transatlantic slavery and then pretend like the problems of the world are not your own. It's not how it works. And I'm not ranting and raving to put blame on Europeans. I'm ranting and raving to put the problem in context so that the proper solution can be found. You have to be able to identify a problem so that you can come up with the solution. And if you can't do both of those, you're not going to get anywhere in life. That's just the way that's what we evolved to do and be on this planet as people. It's the human nature. I'm hungry. I've identified the problem. I'm hungry. What is the solution for my hunger? Finding something to eat. Now that I know that I'm hungry and I need to find something to eat, what am I going to do to make those two compatible? And that is the foundation of my 2 cent. How do I make those two compatible? We have a homeless problem in the world. We look out and we see millions of people that are homeless. How do we address that issue? The first thing we have to do is recognize that there are white homeless and non-white homeless. Because until you recognize the difference between those two in society, you can't get legislation to work, because when you pass legislation, it's going to be based on who is a citizen and who is not a citizen, who is going to get benefits and who is not going to get benefits. And that's just the unfortunate truth about the way governments work now. The most important thing that the youth should do is abolish international boundaries. But we need international boundaries, because without international boundaries, there's no culture. There's only one group of people on the fucking planet, and we're all African. So once we're all African, if we're all African, then the corruption that exists is just one group of people oppressing one group of people, and then there's no longer institutional racism. But every time you say we're all African, and the first thing you think is, I'm not African, I'm white. I'm not African, I'm Asian. I'm not African, I'm Hades. I'm not African, I'm an African American. I'm not African, I'm a Canadian. As soon as you do that, that's institutional racism. Because you feel some value with the title that you've been living with, contrasts against the inferiority you see in other people that don't look like you. That's the foundation of institutional racism. That is the foundation of discrimination. You're not superior because you look different. You're superior through your actions. What are you actively engaged in? How do you conduct yourself every day in society? What are you contributing on a day-to-day basis? How do you handle stressful situations? That's what makes you who you are. I spent the first 3 years of my, not even 3 years. Yeah. I spent the first 3 years of my enlistment in the military chilling. Calm, collected, obeying orders, following directions. And then I got an African American knock 7. She came in, wanting to be black, wanting to get me to understand, doing what black women always do to black men, trying to get me to understand my adversities, my circumstances, what my problems are, what I need to work on to fix me. There's nothing to fix. It's a broken fucking system. Broken fucking system. Black women get healthcare. Black women get free education. Black women get assistance. Black women get cash. The system gives black women every fucking thing they need so that they don't want the one thing that they need, which is a black man. And then when they see us struggling because we're men and we're going to get out here and we're going to get it, we're going to do what we have to do at our level to be able to be prosperous and successful in life. And they looking at us like they're always having to struggle. Everything's always hard for them. They don't even know how easy they got it. No, you got it easy because you're a black woman. You got it easy because the government don't want you to recognize the worth of a black man, because they want you to keep chasing after white men that you will never get. But keep chasing them. All these videos of all these black women like, I don't understand. Why am I single? I can't get a man. Every time they say that, they're talking about a white man. Every time. Every single time. I don't get it. I don't understand why I cook, I clean, I do this, I do that. I got a degree. I don't understand why I don't have me a man. Because corporate white American men don't want a strong, successful woman, regardless of her ethnicity. They don't want that. They don't need that. Men don't need women to do anything other than to be good, honest, decent, loving, compassionate people. That's all that men want from women. Just compassion. Just the thing that we don't get from society is what we want from women. And it's just that simple. And for some reason, it's reached a point where we're asking for too fucking much. We're asking for too much. To just be loved and respected and allow me to provide is asking for too much. And I don't understand. I'll keep ranting and raving and going live every 3 days until I die, I guess. And hopefully one day somebody, the right person, will see these videos and something will change. But I don't know. I guess I'm done because I need to get ready for work anyway. As always, my name is Paul Emerson. I was giving you my 2 cents. I will get an apartment, probably a house. I will get off the street. I will get an apartment. I will get a house. Eventually, my wife will be here. She's just frustrated in my life, being upset that things aren't moving fast enough. I'm not responsible for institutional racism that she doesn't believe in. So I don't know. I don't know what else to do or say. And I don't understand how you can see policies and procedures and like, how do you, I don't know, humans are weird. That's why I gotta teach science as a discipline.